Hi there, this is Pranay and I will tell you what my Chrome extension looks like, which is an ad blocker. And I will go let you through the problems I faced and the challenges I faced to make sure how I wish to create my own ad blocker. So how did I create the process and everything? So firstly, I will just tell you the problem. Here's the ad. For example, this New York Daily News. So here's the ad, and I wish to make sure that this ad disappears. So you can actually see how to read per book. Okay, so unstoppable listener. So I will just inspect this and let me see what kind of ad this is and where it is coming from. So you can actually see that this is an ad from Google Ad Services. There is this link. So you can actually see that this anchor tag, and it is coming from Google Ad Services, and given there's a SVG and there are other g.doubleclick.net. So these are basically ads which are coming through. So first approach, there can be many approaches to this. Simply we can actually delete this wrapper element. Okay, so I can actually delete this wrapper element. You can actually select this and delete this wrapper element. So there's the iframe. Okay, this is the iframe. I can actually delete this, and now it is not visible. So similarly, I can find out the wrapper element for this. This is the wrapper element for this, and I can delete it again. So this is a very customized way because every website have can have different elements, uh, different divs, different nodes for containing wrappers for containing elements. So this is not a suitable way. So what we wish to for every general website, so we can actually block request whenever whenever we are loading the website and it is sending the API. So we can actually try to block those APIs which are containing ads, which are going to request the ads. So this approach would be better. So there are two ways to actually block the request. So there are this website web request and declarative net request ways. So basically it is also telling you how this works, how this HTTP request goes, and we can actually call them and call them before the HTTP request goes out. So web request is deprecated and it's only used for manifest version 2. Now we are going to use declarative net request. So you can actually see replace blocking request with request. So it will basically tell you that how web request got deprecated. Okay. So you have to modify your own for updating to manifest version 3. So for Chrome declarative net request, you can actually see how how this we are going to use this API to basically understand that what API requests are going to go. So there was this famous so there will be some limitations to this because there were some rule limits because this can be a security threat to browsers for any malicious extension that can cause security issues because it knows that it can watch out to every API request which can also send credentials of users. So this can be a problem. So that's why there is a maximum limit rules of 5,000 dynamic rules. We'll come to dynamic rules. What are rules? So we have to basically how it looks like. This looks like this, that there's a manifest.json where we have to declare the rule resources and the path to rules. So let me go through our code and show you how this approach is done. So basically we are going to request the permission of declarative net request, and then there's a service worker where my code will be written, background script. So this runs in the background. Every time extension is loaded, this will run in the background. And there's a declarative net request. So this rule resources is what we are worrying about. That I will dynamically inject this after the extension is loaded, but I will show you a example rules.json I made. So this is the rules.json I made. So this is how it looks. Basically, there is a ID, there is a priority. Priority simply means that if it matches many conditions, what will be the action. So we for ad blockers, we just need it to be blocked. And the condition is the URL, which URL will be there. Since I have showed you there's a Google Ad Services URL and double click URL. So I basically took the example and I told that if this substring matches the URL, then you have to block it. And the resource could be a media, could be an anchor tag, could be a image tag, could be anything, could be HTTP request, like it is shown. So let me go make sure you go through the code also. I will explain the code. So there's simple two functions. So there's a cron on runtime installed. Basically, this is a API of Chrome, which will help me whenever the ad blocker is installed, it will run for the first time. And what it will do that it will fetch easy list. So since there can be multiple ways to inject ads, so the ad companies would not be very stupid, would not be are not very stupid that they will let you easily block the ads using their domain names, simple domains like Google Ad Services. So what I used is there's this easy list dot text which contains every sites you can actually use. You can actually see the ad GitHub uBlock and other open source ad blockers and understand how they work. So they provided me this list, so you can actually see the partner Google Ad Services list. So every ad showing URL is registered here. Every kind of rules which can be used by the ad blockers to block certain ads are there. Basically, there are 1 lakh rules. So 1 lakh rules are very high for the Chromes for the Chrome extensions, because as I said that, as I mentioned, there is a rule of 5,000 only. Chrome has basically told there's a rule of 5,000, dynamic rules of 5,000. You can only add 5,000. So the max number of unsafe dynamic rules. Okay. So but since we have lakhs of domains here, what I will do is I will have this const max rules of 5,000, and then I will fetch this, and then there is this parse easy list text. So whatever the text comes, basically this will come here. This whole file will be jumping out, will be getting here. And what I will do is basically pass easy list is this is function, and it will create this rules. It will create this rules for this, for every URL, for every domain that is mentioned here, domain like this. I will create a dynamic. I will basically ask my script to create such rules. So it will. I can't really type every rule here. So it will be easy for me to create rules for this. Okay. So what I am doing now that it will pass the so you can actually see the rules array, and you can actually see that first it will split line by line, and then it for each line, if the line starts with uh, double dash, that is OR operator. So basically this OR operator is what for the domains, every domain here will contain this OR operator and comment this tilde. So this tilde and tilde or will contain include this, and this every domain will include this and this. So this is my condition, and it will not include star. So basically I am only checking it for domain. There are many regex and every pattern is there, but I'm going to only take the 5,000 rules. And so I will push this. So if domain dot length is greater than 0, then rules dot push. Okay. I'll push this in this rules array and basically creating a rule. Okay. And taking all script subframe media XML HTTP request and type is block. And then I will plus plus the rule ID. then actually you can see that for each line I will do this, and then basically I'm going to slice this to maximum rules. Only first 5,000 will be taken, and then I am going to what I'm going to do is again previous rules like the rules.json file. I will basically edit them, remove them first, remove rule IDs. Okay, so since there's max rules of 5,000, so I'm just making sure that this rules is just for example, and I will remove this as long this rules comes handy, and then I will add the limited rules. So this is my extension, and let me show you how it works. I will turn on the extension and I will reload this. And this is the ad, it is coming here. So I will just reload this ad. Let me show you how this works. So you can actually see that there is no ad now. The ad disappeared. Whole every ad is disappeared here. So you can actually see that the extension is working. So I can just switch off the ad. Yeah. Thanks for listening.